What's up, everybody? Match the Gamer here to review Dragon Ball Super Episode 34. And in advance, before we get into it, I gotta be the bigger man here. I don't know if anybody called me out on this on my video, but I was wrong. Let's admit it here. I was wrong. I'm sorry. And you may be asking, what the heck am I talking about? Well, in my review of the last episode and in a video that I made in regards to what happened in said episode, I said that I thought it was Hit that did whatever happened to Goku. Turns out I was wrong. It was Frost. And boy, do we got something to talk about there. So, before we go any further, that said, spoilers ahead. I cannot stress that enough. So if you do not want to be spoiled and you have not seen this episode, please go watch it, then come back. Or if you're waiting until the English dub, then wait a couple years and come back. I don't know. Depends on how long they take to get the English dub over here. It's beyond me. I don't got any control over how Funimation and Toei do their negotiations for all that stuff. Anyways, without that, okay, everything's taken care of. Let's just move on now. Okay. So, of course, the episode opens up with Goku still laying out on the ground after being knocked out of the ring by Frost. He is out cold. So, of course, everybody's like all shocked by this and freaking out. And then Chi-Chi freaks out for the first time in God knows how long since, I can't even remember the last time she freaked out over Goku. The heart virus, I think, is when she last freaked out over him potentially dying. Anyway, so, Goku's on the ground, Chi-Chi runs, she jumps off the little platform everybody's watching from, runs across the ring, runs past Frost and the announcer, or not the announcer, but referee, and then jumps off, checks on Goku. Goku wakes up, and he's kind of confused, and like, what the heck happened, and he just laughs it off like no big deal and stuff, and Frost comes down there, and of course he's like, hey, give everybody a round of applause, we gave everybody an excellent fight, putting on his charm that he's got going on. You'll see what I mean by this when we get to explaining what happened. So anyways, Goku goes back up there. Everybody's trying to figure out what the heck happened. Beerus is a little mad at Goku, saying, "What if you would have won that fight? If you would have went all out?" And Goku's like, "I only went Super Saiyan because I felt like that was enough." And he goes, "I guess I was wrong." So meanwhile, of course, over on the other side, Champa starts making fun of Beerus, and this, of course, pisses Beerus off. And instead of sitting there getting back at him, he sits there and puts on a fake smile, and puts his arm around Goku and starts patting him on the chest, saying, "Nice job, Goku, you gave it your all." And of course, obviously, Beerus is a little bothered by the fact he lost. He hates the fact that his brother beat him in a round. Anyways, so, going back to the fights here, so now, of course, as we know, since Goku was eliminated, then Frost gets to stay in the ring until he is eliminated. And his next opponent, of course, will be Piccolo. So before Piccolo goes down there, he asks Goku, like, do you think I can handle him? Goku sits there, scratches his head, thinks. He goes, nah, you don't stand a chance. And he goes, huh, didn't have to be so brutally honest. And he goes, so what do you want me to do while I'm down there? He goes, try to wear him down for Vegeta. That'd be real nice. He goes, huh, so that's my job. All right. So Piccolo gets down in the ring, takes off his weighted gear, and then whenever the fight begins, they start, Frost charges at Piccolo, and Piccolo's easily avoiding him. Because assuming Piccolo kept up his training, at the very least, if he did not get stronger than when he fused with Kami and fought Android 17, which personally I think he did get stronger, but just for the sake of the argument, let's say he's still at that level, then he's stronger than a Super Saiyan, and we've seen that a Super Saiyan was handling very well against Frost. So Piccolo should be, in theory, able to beat Frost, or hold his own against him. So, Piccolo then begins charging for the special beam cannon. I can remember the Japanese name, but I can't pronounce it, so I'm not going to even sit here and attempt at it. Anyways, so Piccolo begins charging for the thing, and everybody begins talking about the flaw in the technique. Goku talks about how he hasn't seen it in a while. Obviously, the last time he seen it, it was impelled through him. Because he had to hold Raditz in place in order to, in order for him to be killed by the special beam cannon, which unfortunately also caused Goku to be killed. Or fortunately, depending on how you want to look at the circumstances. Anyways, So Piccolo's charging this, and he's doing everything in his ability to avoid all Frost's attacks. You know, Frost shoots beams at him, blast. Piccolo does everything in his power to avoid it, and then Frost manages to land a blow right in Piccolo's leg. Like, it pierces Piccolo's leg. This, of course, hurts him, but he still hasn't lost concentration yet. And then Frost begins, like, throwing a fury of punches and kicks at him, and then finally kicks Piccolo in the leg, which then, of course, causes him to lose concentration, and then he kicks Piccolo back and says, "I win." And just as he's turned around, Piccolo uses his little technique where he stretches his arm, wraps it around Frost, and then begins charging up the special beam cannon again, and then starts to explain, "I'm a wise fighter in Universe 7, and the reason you lost is because you didn't know my strategy," and blah, 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 stuff like that. So, of course, Frost is like, "Oh, I guess I lose here," you know, playing it off, and then just as he's getting ready to do something, we see Jocko notices something. Frost, moves his arm up inside Piccolo's arm, which is wrapped around him, and then does something. We don't see what it is yet, but we know he does something. But whatever it is, it's the same thing he done to Goku. It causes Piccolo to get woozy. Frost comes in, blasts Piccolo through his torso, which for some reason didn't kill him. And then, of course, Piccolo lost, and they checked to make sure he's alive, and Frost is still in the game because he didn't kill Piccolo. Because you're not allowed to kill your opponents in this tournament. Anyways, Jocko, then who was sitting up there with Vegeta, I forgot to mention Jocko flew over there to sit with Vegeta, and you know, he's saying that he noticed something, so he decides to get up and call out Frost on his cheap shot that he did, you know, his little weapon. So he's explaining everything, and like, of course, Champa gets mad at this and threatens to kill Jocko, saying, you know, "Shut up, that ain't going on." So Frost, of course, is just standing there, you know, while this is being said, and the referee is hesitant to do it at first, and Vegeta asks the referee to do it, and of course, Beerus also goes on to say that if, I don't care if he does get destroyed, but, you know, whatever, he didn't care if Jocko gets destroyed, and Vegeta also agreed. So, the referee begins his examination of Frost. And after checking him over, he finds on his gauntlet there is a little hole there with a needle. And when he finally got the needle to be exposed, he puts his finger up against it and sees that, oh, it's emitting some sort of poison or something, which causes the referee to get woozy and pass out as well, just like everybody else. Frost is then declared disqualified. Piccolo gets up and, of course, regenerates instantly. We then learn what kind of person Frost really is at this point now. Frost is a lot like Frieza, but still different in various ways. But to summarize it, according to the translation I watched, it says that Frost is a mob boss who owns a group of space pirates or something like that, and they go around and start wars on planets, and then he comes in and acts like, you know, he's a good guy, stops the space pirates, pretends to anyways, they leave, he then buys the war-torn property at a fraction of the price and resells it. So he's kind of like Frieza, except instead of doing it on a planetary scale, he does it, I guess, on a small land scale, which then we see his true colors, and then everybody starts, you know, asking, you know, or not everybody, but then Fados explains that she knew about this whole time, and she's the one that, you know, told the truth about him, and said, "My, aren't you being mean?" So, of course, now Frost is disqualified, and Champa was going to destroy Frost, but then Vegeta requests that he get to fight him. He wanted to. Piccolo's still in the game since Frost got disqualified for cheating, but then Piccolo decides to forfeit, and Frost gets to continue on. And looks at it like this. He says that Champa goes, "Alright, if you beat him, I'll forgive you for embarrassing me like this, and I'll even help you in your little thing that you're doing." So, Vegeta, of course, gets his shot. He comes down here, he's smiling, he's ready, he wants to kill Frost. But then Frost begins talking, saying something, I guess, very similar to Frieza, and Vegeta says, "I hate that voice." making it abundantly clear that he does not like Frost, and he reminds him so much of Frieza, it's ridiculous. So I think anything he wanted to do with Frieza during the Golden Frieza fight that he didn't get to necessarily do, he's going to get to do it to this guy. And that pretty much covers everything that happened in the episode. So I guess that about covers it. I want to thank y'all for watching. What do y'all think? Comment down below in the comment section as per usual. Make sure to like, rate, comment, subscribe. Check out the official Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch pages. And speaking of Twitch, I will be doing a live stream today of The Division. So go and check that out. Thank you very much. So yeah, peace, guys. Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z/Kai, Dragon Ball GT, and Dragon Ball Super are all owned by Fuji TV, Toei Animation, Funimation, and Akira Toriyama. I do not claim to own any of these. The video and any images that appear were used under fair use.